rich people don't have mood swings. Because why? How? When? Let me tell you, I remember at home there were days we were broke. To a point that we were so poor that we couldn't pay for anything.
What?
Yes, we couldn't even pay attention.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very episode of Unleashed, Voice of a Generation with your host, Shalon Nyankubito. Now, today's guest, I'm really excited about this episode. Today's guest is someone who is not only hilarious, but also very insightful. You probably heard him lighten up your mornings at Next Radio. He's not only a comedian, he is an MC, he's a presenter, he's a Christian, and he's a man that loves God. Welcome, Uncle Mark.
Thank you. I'm excited. But I'm happy to be here. Of course, my name is Mark Agaba.
Yes.
The world preferred me as Uncle Mark. And of course, financial and business purposes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the right introduction. You've just forgotten one statement.
He's married?
Uh-huh.
I'm so new.
Married
He
to...
is married to Valeria, Mrs. Agaba Valeria.
Who is a woman?
Who is a woman.
Very important.
Biologically a woman. Thank you very much for honoring the invitation.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here.
I hope you're going to make us laugh. Oh, we've not paid for that.
That is bread for the soul. It happens every time.
Okay, Uncle Mark, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you too. Can
you take us back about your childhood, growing up? How was your childhood like from 1 to 10 years?
I hope you have enough space on your discs because when someone says in Vudewal, I've come from far. You need like 100 MBs, GBs to save this story. But I'll just cut it short. My name is Mark Agaba Memuchiga from a district called Kamwenje.
Kamwenje district.
Yes, Kamwenje district. I was raised and born from a place called Katwe. Katwe is a ghetto and a slum which is located in Kampala, in the suburbs of Kampala. And right there, that was my beginning. Yeah. You're looking at me like, oh, I thought you were a planned kid. No, come on. So I was raised from Katwe, a place called Chinyoro, where, stories of the day would engulf thieves and, there were a lot of mysteries that were around the whole process of growth.
Yes.
But I started from Katwe. I started from a school called PAS. I know even if you Google about it, you can't find it.
PAS.
A PAS.
A PAS.
But just know my hobbies are there.
Okay.
Yeah. I also started from a school called Katwe United.
Katwe United.
Katwe United. I think you see where... I also studied from a school called Katwe Primary. So sometimes when you look at people, you really see that it's just, if it's not God, it's then no one.
It's not true.
So after then, I went to St. Peter's in Zambia for primary.
Oh.
Yes. And after that, I went to my high school. I went to a school called Zambia Secondary School. God is my shield. That was our motto. And after that, I was the first person in my family.
Smack? The smack you already.
I am coming.
Oh.
So I always tell people I went to smack. But of course, the smack I always talk about, St. Mary's Kamwenje. It's absolutely a myth.
It's a myth.
Yes. It's just a myth. But after that, I went to Makerere University. I pursued a course in economics. And I was the first person to go to Makerere University in my whole clan.
In the whole clan?
Yes. And of course, on reaching Makerere University, of course, being the first person in the clan to go to Makerere University, my first seasons and days of school at Makerere, I was full-time in a suit because, you're representing a clan. What do you have to do in shorts and jeans?
Every day you'd be in a suit.
My friend.
While you're doing economics.
On top of that, my mother gave me a briefcase. Told me mwana wanje. Told me mchiga mwana wanje. Zakushoma. Told me my son go and study.
Niwe wija kushoma.
Nija kushoma. So it was an interesting space. After that, I found myself meeting different people. And in Makerere. But that by then I was a Christian. So I met a team of Makerere Community Church that was led and spearheaded by Pastor Martin Semper. And then I was enrolled into a team called Primetime.
Primetime, yes.
Then
at the pool.
At the pool. Then it was from Primetime that my story begins as Uncle Mark. Yes. So I joined Primetime. I joined Primetime as a dancer. And guess how I joined Primetime? You were a dancer? Yes, I was a dancer. And I used to dance in clubs. I used to go to club to dance. Yeah? Like those boys who would give hype and what. So this particular day, as a Christian boy who had never left home for club, the time I reached Makerere University, I said, I want to exhibit my power, my strength of dance, my gift of dance. And guess what? I reached Makerere University. I started going to clubs. I mean, my friends would just take me to club for just the vibe. And this one Saturday, fateful Saturday, some of my friends delayed. So they told me, hey, wait from somewhere. We're going to pick you from the campus. So I went to the pool. I said, okay.
Pick you in a car?
Yes, in a car. I had rich friends. Yes, okay. I had rich friends, not myself. So I said, okay, I will wait for you guys around the pool. And in the moment you reach, let me know. So I went to the pool to just wait for them so that we may go to club.
Yeah.
And guess what? I see about 2,000 people, young people gathering. I said, okay, this is beautiful. People gather here to just laugh. Then that fateful Saturday still, a wonderful lady called Ebo Oba Abe Mujungu, something, a gospel artist, came on stage. She had a concert at Silver Springs. They told us, we're giving out 2 tickets to the best dancers of the day. You come, you dance, and you win 2 tickets. We all went forward. We were close to 60 students. We battled for about 30 minutes. And I was part of the top 2.
Your friends were still on the way.
Yes, my friends were still on the way for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
So they kept on putting off one by one, and we're about 2 remaining on stage. And both of us received the tickets. I went to Silver Springs. We enjoyed the concert. I told myself, you know what? Next Saturday, I'm going back to the pool to win more tickets. So I thought every Saturday we win tickets.
Yeah.
I go back to the pool this time around. And this gentleman called OJ asks, so we have a team that won tickets last Saturday. Can I see anybody here? Did you guys come? I said, yeah, we're here. Any other tickets to win? He said, no, come tell us your experience about the show. So I went, shared my experience. And in the depth of the matter, OJ told me now, in the depth of the matter, as I'm discussing on the mic, told me now, you're going to be emceeing today with me. I was like, okay. That's how I started emceeing. As just random like as that. Just like that. So I had OJ by my side. There's a gentleman called Laptop. There's another gentleman. It's a list of people, Gilbert, Nicholas. So all these are the guys I found at the pool emceeing. And now we started emceeing. Now my mother at home sent me to study. And
you're here emceeing.
And I'm here emceeing and dancing. And now that's how my journey of emceeing started.
MC, that's when they start calling you Uncle Mark?
No. Now I get to the mic. Growing to the crowds and understanding the semantics of how to speak to people, when I also noticed that I'm funny. I would randomly crack jokes.
And people would laugh.
Yeah. People even started laughing at things that are just not laughable. You know, sometimes when you're too funny.
Yes.
And and a certain audience, cluster of people get used to you. You start now, you start breaking barriers. You start being a clown. And every time they see you, they just laugh. They're like, okay, what is this guy going to say now today? That's the stage that I went into. And guess what? I see NBS advertise for something called NBS the Comic.
Yes.
So a friend of mine tells me, Mark, you can join this. I said, no, I'm not that funny. So later on, I joined forces with a friend of mine called Caesar. I told him, you know what, let's register as stand-up comedians and see what comes out. We went registered. And in the registration process, we noticed that we were about 1,800 something number. I think I was a 2,000 plus something person in the registration database. I kept on wondering, am I going to battle with 2,000 people really?
Yeah.
Someone will just pass by you and you laugh and you're like, oh, this guy is funny. I said, okay, let's do this. We went into the auditions that really took us about 5 months. Just imagine the auditioning every week and they have to drop close to 100 people. And I kept on going through the stages. We went for a boot camp. Now we went for the real shows when we were about 50 people. And these shows were live on air every Sunday. The first time my relatives saw that I was performing on a comedy platform, they all called my mother. They told her in Ruchiga, umwana yashishkaraho. Then on this fateful day, I reach home and I find my mom disappointed. And they told me, my people told me, was a kuchwam, you're going to decide whether you want to be. By then, they didn't call them comedians. They told me in Ruchiga that ntuendo shareho wanoenda kubadi ikura ningo no wanoenda kushoma. So we need you to decide whether you want to be a clown or you want to be a certified economics student. I told them I'm sorry. Because you see, the most important piece of the puzzle is that so many people forget that if it's your dream, it's your dream. No one is going to dream for you. And on top of that, no one is going to interpret your dream for you.
Yes.
And greatest of all, no one will ever understand your dream until they see the fruit. And no one will understand, everyone will see the fruit, but no one will understand the seed. The seed has a process. The first process of the seed is planting. The second process is death. So probably I was in my stage of death.
Yes.
The third stage of a seed is sprouting. Nti woteke ensigo yakasoli mutaka. The Baganda senga tenna loka esoka kufa. Before the seed sprouts, it first dies. So there is no reason why someone should understand your death. Absolutely no reason. So you will be in your death alone, and it will be you to understand that actually this is a seed that has died, but it's going to sprout yet or soon. And yeah, the death stage was long to a point that I sometimes started questioning myself, am I in the right path? Am I in the right career? But it's very important to know when to quit. Of course, we've had so many stories. People say never give up, never,
Yes.
But it's also, no one tells us when to actually quit. There's so many things you can quit in the process.
True.
You can quit not giving up. You can quit.
But I feel like that's the hardest process.
Not quitting. Yes. It's a hard process. Let me tell you, there is no space that has broken my heart as a space of sitting before my family members and they're asking me, why don't you just study and leave Makerere instead of playing in books?
But were you performing?
I was a high-end performer. Yes. But you see, on the other end, I was also not being paid. My family was not paying my tuition. It was my uncle who was paying my tuition because we're not well off. We couldn't afford the 1.2, the 800,000 of Makerere University by then. And I know some of you may be watching these videos, but you're starting to count my age. Don't do that. The devil is a liar. Don't even try. I'm not getting muscle. Now, the state I was in, first of all, my family looked at it as a risk. You're not paying your own tuition.
They're paying for you.
They're paying for you, and now you're in comedy. Or you're
a clown.
You're a clown now.
Yeah.
What if your uncle wakes up and says, I am no longer interested? Where will we go? Said, then we keep rolling.
But by that time, was comedy earning you something? Were you getting something out of comedy and MCing?
Zero.
Yes.
Zero. Guess what? My uncle stopped paying the tuition. Not because he gave up.
Yes.
But because he got a few issues as a human being. And of course, health, what? So I said, you know what? Burimbuza nkondo yayo. That word, that statement means that every goat on its hinge. So what I did, I had to go back home. My uncle stays in Mutundwe. I walked from Mutundwe to Katwe, Zambia, because I was even ashamed. He was in a heavy state. I even couldn't ask for transport. I got my backpack. I packed, and then I walked. I went to Smanya, that place where Ken Luchams used to do his amazing work from. Then Pub, Kabusu, Chibuye, then Katwe, up the tower, then Zambia. When I reached home, my mom knew that everything had come to a standstill. But I just had a certain hope. And guess what? I didn't know where to start from, because I even didn't know how to get tuition, how to get what to eat at the university. I didn't know how I was going to earn a living. I didn't know how I was going to make life happen. This was the beginning of second year. And what I did, we used to study with rich kids, with planned kids. So I moved to university this morning. I landed on one of the friends that I had at campus by then. I told him, you know what? I know your father is an ambassador, but this is what you're going to do for me. I need a place to stay, and I need to stay in the university, and I need to stay with you. But this is what I'm going to pay in exchange. I'm going to be a house help. Right? Hey. Wow. I said, so I'll just do the basics. I'll have to clean the room. I'll have to make sure, because this was a planned kid with, university halls used to have different rooms.
Yes.
But they used to have rooms for classified students, for extraordinary students. Most of us would stay in like single normal rooms that have like 3 people, 2 people.
6.
Yeah, 6. The university halls have rooms for students that are not of our cluster. You've read The Animal Farm, that book?
Yes. So
that's the state right there. So I get to this room, and it's a very big room. It's like 3 rooms in one. He has a PlayStation area. He has a sleeping. Yes.
In hall.
He has a sleeping area. He has a shower booth that he just put by himself. He has a bath.
That was indeed a son of an ambassador.
Yes, I was like, okay, I'm here to stay.
I've arrived.
Every time they would call me from home, I would tell mommy, relax, I am in safe hands. So I started cleaning, washing plates, washing clothes. I became, people call them houseboys. Yes, I became a house help in a university room. But because that's all I had to pay. That's the cost I had to pay. I didn't have money. I didn't have anything on me. The only wealth I had around me was life and words.
Nebi gambo,
nganguli search gambo, no kuta. So later on, that's how there's a time where I stopped. I couldn't even enter a relationship because I was broke. You sometimes you have so many things around you. when you're rich, most of the things around you is high. You're highly respected. You're highly magnified in society. You're so many things. But when you're broke, everything about you is low self-esteem, low moods. You have mood swings. Even if you just find dust and you get pissed. You know poverty. Let me tell you.
I know that is for the rich. The mood swings.
Rich people don't have mood swings. Because why? How? When? Let me tell you, I remember at home there were days we were broke. To a point that we were so poor that we couldn't pay for anything.
What?
Yes, we couldn't even pay attention. Nothing. No matter you're disorganized. So those were my days. And I remember there was a time, I always tell people this story, but people don't believe. There was a time where thieves broke into our home. So because we used to stay on a commercial house that had like 3 rentals, what people call mizigo here in Africa, in Uganda. So we were in 3 mizigo. People broke into our mizigo. They got hold of my father, the thieves.
Yes.
When they broke into our house.
That's supposed to be sad. I don't know why I'm laughing.
They got my father. They got us. They sat us in the sitting room at night at about
with your father?
2. Yes, us, all the children, my mother and my father. They all sat. They sat us in the sitting room. The thieves looked at us. Now there were 3 thieves. I remember very well. The 2 stayed there. The one went in the second muzigo. The neighbors broke the neighbor's house, stole things, percolators, what they brought them to us, and they said, "At least you have something."
No,
I'm telling you. Okay. We are broke that even the thieves would come and say, "But why are you broke?"
But why are you broke?
You see, being in a state where the thieves are also concerned.
That reminds me of a friend. There's a friend whom she was working at night, going back home. So then the thieves checked her, and then she had a small phone, and they beat her up. And it was a small boy. Like, why do you have a small phone and you're working? Wow.
Yes. So Katwe was an interesting time. And people still don't know. I see thieves around these days, and I wonder. We grew up in a state where most of the thieves, some of the lucky things I found about Katwe was because studying from Katwe for a long time, so many people knew me. But also you'd find some thieves are my hobbies. That's our guy.
And you know them.
You can't know them. Some are putting on masks, some are in dark areas. Hey, there was a time where you would be seated in class, someone anakusaba pen, naga help me with the pen. Nomgamba, I take away naga moke, we shall meet at night. Just know. So that was the state we're in. And so back to my campus life, I finally dropped my uncle's support. My mother is a tailor. So life was not really that good. And I'm the last born. So my siblings were also going through a hard time. So I said, you know what? Let me get hold of this beautiful journey that I've started with. There's nothing that kept me going as faith. You see, the most important thing is so many people, I've seen so many brands even use the keep walking. But keeping walking is one thing, but having a road to walk on is another thing. Having where to go is another thing. And getting and also seeing where you're going is a totally different thing. I had none of the latter. So I just had one thing, and that was faith. I kept on going. Man, ngolia oni bakuita ka simanya ka at Makerere we used to have porridge nights.
Yeah.
You go for porridge night, they give you 10K, they give you 20.
While emceeing,
you go for a cocktail party, they give you 10K, they give you 15K, you keep on like that. And you find yourself going through one week into another week into another. And you're there randomly, someone gives you a 50K, 20K, you deposit on tuition in Pola and Pola.
Just like that.
Sometimes you deposit on tuition, and at home they call you that there is no food. You go back to the university, you tell them, so competition, go back into day.
Would the university policy allow that?
Of course no. Of course no. And you feel like telling them, what if I don't want to do the papers? You want to pay me back? Why don't you find my money?
Oh wow.
So that was interesting. I started working hard to the point that I even dropped my time for school for revision. So see, and at campus, when you drop your time for revision, you start now finding other systems on how to pass. So we started invading systems on how to pass. I had a friend of mine called Yunus. I don't know where Yunus went, but if Yunus gets to see this video, Yunus, what do you want to do? Mombi. Yunus and I had a test one day. Yunus used to sell clothes, baby clothes in Owino when we were in school. Yunus was a businessman.
Baby clothes.
At the young age. Yes. Yunus would come and say, as they're chasing us out for tuition, we are striking for tuition increment. Yunus is saying, watch more striking. Because Yunus was already making money. But he didn't have time to study. So I told Yunus, you know what? Let's do something. I asked Yunus, what do you want us to do? Yunus said, let's write some cheats and we go with them in the paper. Now, I remember we spent the whole night writing papers. We kept on rolling papers, economics. And economics would be simple. Economics, you just have to get the principles of particular topics. If it's inflation, you just have to know whether it's macro or micro, dissect it. So really, different topics, you just give them hints. So we rolled papers. We had like 20 papers. We were like, Yunus, this paper is done. I asked Yunus, but how are we entering with them in the examination? Yunus looked at me and asked me, when is the paper? I said, it's Friday. He said, don't worry, I will sort it. I didn't know what Yunus was going to do. Friday comes. Doesn't Yunus come in a kanzu?
Yunus.
With wudu. He has gotten wudu.
Oh my God.
Guess what? You know, Makerere University, I appreciate Makerere because it's one of the universities that respect religion. In Makerere University, if you have this Muslim hat and talabus, they don't touch on it. Yes, they respect the fact that you have gotten wudu. They don't even check you if you're Muslim. Yunus reached the room, got the entalabusi and said, oh, Papa, we were hey. I carried the papers.
The producer is dying of laughter.
We poured the papers in the entire busi. Yunus did this. He put in the entire busi very well.
Yes.
I said, Yunus, are you sure? Yunus said, he even spoke it. This was the first time me hearing an Arabic statement. Yunus Yunus used this statement of Barakallahu fikum. Yunus said, Barakallahu fikum. I said, what does that mean? He said, you will see during the paper. Now we were in the line entering the School of Economics. I kept on looking because we couldn't move at once. So Yunus went before me, 4 people before me. I was here. So I kept on looking at Yunus.
That he doesn't disappear.
Said, and let this man not do any error. When this lecturer saw Yunus, the lecturer tapped Yunus here like this, in the west, tapped Yunus here. Now, I was like, now let the lecturer say, Yunus, put off your hat. So when they tapped Yunus here in the pockets, the west here, I saw the guy telling him, enter. I said, Me, I came, I opened my eyes, my arms, they checked me, pen, my examination permit, I entered. Now, we used to have a formation. If the person who has the sasi, the bullets, the person who has the papers would sit at the front just after you. So that he gives you the cheat, you also copy, you give your next person. That's the system we had formulated that day. Now, I don't know, guys. The devil is a liar. When we sat in the examination room like this, they served the papers, they served the answer sheets. The lecturer said, of course, it's midday, and wish you well in your paper. You may start. We opened. Ato muntu alina akasasa omulabirawo. Tubera serious. You even read the paper from the air like this. Number 1 or 2. Number 4.
Yeah.
You would only have to do 3 numbers, but for us, we would even turn this side and say, okay, I'll also do number 4, just in case.
Just in case.
We start writing. Now, someone who has Kasasi, these are the tips. If you want to know that someone has Sasi in the examination room, they first write their name on every page of the answer sheet. They write their name here, they flip, write their name here. They flip, write their name here.
Answer sheet.
They flip, they write their name, then they turn on the final page, they also write their name. Then they come back, they write their registration number, write the registration number, right? Then they come back. Now, the answer sheet, remember, has those spaces of writing your name, like 5 spaces. Now, that's where the problem is.
You keep waiting.
Now, because the system would be, the lecturers would serve papers and step out shortly, then come back. So akakadachi kakiba fulma mwa awo mkolira we muti awo
Yunus najawe the heart.
Now,
you had to remove the heart.
I was in charge of communications in that not at the university. In that system, it was me to tell Yunus katiao jayo akapapula. It was me, Yunus, and another guy called Brian. Now, there's a lecturer. The guy, we got our kasas. Yunus was about to pull out a paper like this. The guy brought his chair and placed it in front of Yunus. Because remember, he had already flipped the hat. So chances were high that if he removes the hand, the papers will fall. Yunus did the paper like 3 hours when he was like this. Did we write anything? Yes. But were they right? No.
You don't.
We wrote. I kept on looking at the lecture. She looked at me. I wrote. I even greeted the lecturer in the paper saying, how are you, sir?
How are you?
I wrote. After that, the lecturer collected papers. We stepped out of the hall. When we stepped out of the hall, Yunus looked at me. I looked at Yunus. Yunus asked me one question. Ma, compose the retake, Eriku Maker. So you take a said to Jakuda next year. That's how I came back to Makerere for my 4th year.
So you did year 1, year 2, Yunus.
Yes, I thank you.
Oh wow.
So
that's very interesting.
So those were some of the things that I encountered in the university.
Yes.
Guess what? Luckily, we started growing into this field of emceeing. Spaces started unfolding. People believed in us. We got our faith grew, and all we could sell was hope. Where someone just looks at you and they're like, "Okay, this is magical. This man is gifted." So I started doing graduation parties. I started doing small events within the university. And lo and behold, I find myself being able to accommodate myself. I later on left Makerere University. When I left Makerere University, I now shifted because after you're done with school, you go out of hostel or hall. I went to Chireka with a friend of mine called Caesar. Now, Chireka, first of all, the house we were living in Chireka was 70,000. Our landlord had all kinds of animals. He had ducks, sheep, goats, and cows. In Chireka, when you wake up in the morning and there's a sheep on your door, you may not work that day. You call in for leave. That was Chireka. I remember the day we had a gate. Have you noticed that there are houses that have gates but they don't have fences? In a gate, not enough fence. Now, that was some of the houses we were living in Chireka. We had a house that had a gate.
A gate without a fence.
Without a fence. Nga gate, nga fence ya gwa. Gate nesigala ngeriko bweti. Now,
Katibo ingira ngoita
it's free entry and free exit. It's a competitive market. Now, one day, a friend of ours buys a car. And she gives us a car, me and Caesar, to drive. Because we used to work around NASA. So, the NASA story is also another story. So, we go to Chireka with the car, driving. We park the car in our gate. But as we entered our house, I asked Caesar, is this car safe? So Caesar said, no, what we're going to do, because we have a gate, but we don't have a fence. We're going to keep this car in shifts. Caesar went, slept in the car till 1 a.m., woke up, came back to the house. I went to the car, slept till 6 a.m. That's how we went back to work. But the interesting part of the story, all the people that we used to work around knew that we really had the money. Because after university, of course, jobs became a problem. And now we started selling HDMI cables, mouse. Mouse nga nyingi bazita chi?
Mouse is
So we sell mouse. We also keyboards, toners for printers, those things. So we used to get these things into our bags and move on the streets of NASA and Nkrumah Road, Kampala Road. So we stretch as far as Wandegea. So we had clients. You know that. So every product we used to earn 2,000 as profit on every product. Yes. So a mouse would be 2K on wholesale. And now for us, we would sell them like 5K. If you're very hungry, you tell the client, okay, mpenya. If the day has refused, you tell them 3K. If the day has really refused and you want to take back your boss's money, you just tell them pay bidizangi. So because your boss just wants 2K.
Yes.
And now I did that. After doing that, now that's when we enrolled for the comic. And the comic, of course, the story unfolded beautifully well. We went into the comedy competition. I managed to merge our top 4. And the top 4 was the second runners-up.
Yes.
And from that time, I never looked back.
Till now.
And we're talking about all these shows that I have been doing, but none of my family members had ever attended my shows. But on the comic final, my mom and all my siblings came because I think they had tested and proven that this journey is worth it. So I mean, we all go through stuff, but the most important thing is to know the worth of your journey that you're taking, and keep on the road.
Wow. I think your story is really full of perseverance, and it's a story one to draw inspiration from, because most times when we look at the results, we don't really get to know what exactly happened behind the scenes. Yes. And for you to actually offer yourself and a houseboy at campus, that's really so unheard of. Most times the youth, we prefer to get things the easy way. I think you heard how the minister told us that when we are done with campus, the youth want to immediately own a Benz. And yet,
no, someone is stressed because it's been 8 months after campus and they don't have a job and they are stressed. And I'm like, wait a minute. We spent 5 years without a job. Talking about 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, and you're
already stressed.
Yes.
You know, nowadays it's depression.
I know. We have so many people who even reach a stage of unaliving. They want to get themselves out of this world because of a job. I think it's also part of not knowing how much your worth is, what you carry in the inside of you. It's very important to know yourself, first of all. And I'm not saying that when you know yourself, you will have a smooth journey. No. I'm only saying you will only know how to smoothen your journey. Yes. So it's very important for one to understand that there is reason why why really a man wrote and said life is a journey. Life is a journey, and all we need is transport. You just have to stick in there to know how you're getting to your final destination. You may not know the how and when and what you're using, but you must know your destination. Classify out of this world. You must know your destination. After knowing your destination, you must know which people you're moving with on that journey. If it's a bus, I mean, people have different stopovers. They will stop. Some will get out. Others will join in. But the most important piece is to know your end, where you're going, but also to know the people you're going with, because you can't walk this journey alone. You can't, because no man is an island. If you want to walk this journey alone, then wow, what a unique species.
Wow. I think to also appreciate that journeys are really different.
Yes.
Because most times people tend to compare themselves to other people. And the fact that now we've had social media.
Yes.
Someone will be there, done with campus. Maybe you don't have a job yet.
Yes.
And you're just scrolling through. Then someone is saying, you come with me as I construct my house. And you're in the same age.
I know. The journey may be the same actually, but just with a different process.
Different process, yes.
I have friends who are my age, but are billionaires. And I know, and we don't want to, the problem is we're in a generation where people say he's a billionaire because the parents are billionaires. He's a billionaire because he inherited. Let me tell you, the primary factor is he's a billionaire.
Yes.
We don't want to know whether you inherited or you worked hard. The process is very important. But unfortunately, the world will look at the fruit more. So he's a billionaire. We don't care. That's all we care about. And you see, as you are moving this journey called life, life has about 4 stages. After birth, that's one stage where you are, of course, not supportive of yourself. You are a young man now, you're a young man being carried by your parents, taken care of. There's a stage of course, growth. There's a stage of development, as the psychologists and the social workers entail it. Then there's, of course, the final stage of maturity. Now, someone who goes past the third stage, you absolutely have no reason to blame anyone. Let me make this clear. We are in a generation where people blame their parents because of their brokenness, because of their hard state, because of their unfortunate lives. And I don't want to throw it to the public that your parents didn't contribute to this. They did. Your family did. Your clan did. Your society and environment did. But let me tell you, you may not be in position to explain to your children that. You may not be in position to explain to your children why you are the way you are. Because we can't keep on with the stories of I am broke because you see, my parents didn't believe in me. I am broke because you see, my parents didn't. Dude, you're 40 years. Your parents didn't believe in you when you were 10.
Yes.
You've been existing for the next 30 years. Okay, so? Okay, they didn't believe in you, so? Have you believed in yourself? Yes, I believe in myself. So where are you? So, we are eager to see the fruit. As I earlier told you that we're not interested in the seed, unfortunately. Yet it's the most important foundation of the puzzle. Okay. If you, normally, Nyankore and Bachiga say, akati okini kakachiri kabisi. So you take you grow a child the way you want them to grow, so that when they grow, they never depart out of it. So I pray that this generation, we stop blaming our forefathers, blaming generational curses, blaming, because so the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so they are. For if you believe in yourself, that man is a wafe bandoga man, they bewitched me at my home, they even don't believe in me. so you are. It's as simple as it's principle.
Don't you think, though, they also contribute to maybe people's failures?
100%. That's why I said they contribute so much. I'll tell you, I lost my father when I was 3 years. At the age of 3, father was a wealthy man. My mother was just really a housewife who didn't know anything, not even went to school or what. But you see, I started from Katwe. So if I'm to embed that story and then I keep it at the back of my mind that I don't really have to hustle much because the problem is not mine, then I'm blundering them more.
True.
Yes, your father died when you're young.
True.
Then so what? Because if my kids now, after my kids grow, what will I be able to tell them? Will I be able to tell them how I transition? Because they also source their inspiration from you. You've seen generations that break. It's not just by the air or by the waves. It's because people draw inspirations from people. If I'm telling my kids a story on how I was born and raised from Katwe, Daddy, what did you do? Because you didn't have any supportive arms. You didn't have strong arms to support you. I tell them, man, I had to do this. I had to make sure that me being a house help at campus, I'll have a connection with this gentleman. Now, this gentleman will make sure that I don't miss class because I don't have handouts. He'll buy the handouts.
And you read them.
And I will read them. I will discuss for him as I also understand. And I will pass. After passing, don't mind about the job. Just mind about making life happen. We also, unfortunately, some of the things to be ghettos, but I'll tell you, we're in a generation where so many people have blamed the government. And I'm not here to support the government. Neither am I here to go against the government.
Yes.
But I'm just here to tell my generation that there are people that have developed, grown, and increased with or without the government. What do you have to say about those people? There are people that wake up and struggle and run their lives, not even minding who is leading. No, they just have to make sure that I am rolling my chapatis. I am doing this. I have to make sure my oil is on, my store is ready, and let people buy the chapatis as I save my money. And those people have, fortunately, they have left us as the youth, the 70% of the Ugandan economy, which is the youth, the greatest population of the economy that we have. Okay, the 70% is the biggest space.
Yes.
Now, in the biggest space, 80% of the 70% blame government because of their failure. Now, our parents have been in the same government for 40 years. But our parents have cattle. Our uncles and relatives there in the village have goats. They have been able to maintain wealth, educate us, take us to school, give us medical, build homes in the same political environment. But now you, who has the same parents that have the cattle, the sheep, the goat, say you want to lead a strike because you don't believe in this government. Your role is not to believe in the government. Your role is to believe in yourself to raise the right generation. That's a weird and shocking bullet to take in.
Yes, because then if the role is to raise their children, right, how then will someone raise them when they still don't believe in the government?
Because let me give you a scenario. If your father had 2 women,
yes,
would you pick it from your father to also qualify yourself to have 2 women?
No.
Now we've grown up in a generation where our parents, and I know out there in the African setting, so many parents have kids out. What? But as a man who has grown up exposed, not that exposed, but who has acquired a certain foundation of wisdom and knowledge, I've come to believe in myself different. I said, no, okay, me, I just want to be different from my father. So, and I will tell my wife and my children that this is what I believe in. So if you take it, well and fine. I tell them, one man for one wife, develop your family and grow. If the past leadership system, if you don't believe in the past leadership system, your role is not to go on the street and have a bullet shot at you.
True.
Your role is to turn and look at your generation and tell them, okay, the failures that my parents, my uncles, have done, these are the ones. But I believe we can do better. We can grow better. And the problem we have, we think that leadership starts with the top anchors.
Yeah, true.
No.
From the grassroots.
Yes. I remember in my 2019, I went back to UCU. I became a guild president. Just to show people that there's a certain way of leadership that you can actually attain. There is a certain way you can trim and push and lead people and grow. So we are losing so much time. We are losing so much energy, resources in fighting the battle and losing the war.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest picture here is the war. What is the war? The war is moving forward in better places. If you and I can move better and can move in a better way, now that's growth, that's development. That's how we shall transform our lives, our families, and our next generations.
Well, I think that's also very important since we are already in the election period.
Yeah. I pray that one man sang and said,
It's true.
it is our personal, it is a responsibility for someone to vote.
True.
So may I urge all Ugandans to go and vote for your parties, and the best candidate will win.
Wow.
Yes, the best candidate will win. But as you're voting, have the wisdom to also vote yourself. We go and tick the ballot papers. After ticking the ballot papers, go back home also. Now wait as a young man, you can't just wake up and you tell me. One of the things I don't believe in are statements like Emini Mujibuze.
Really?
I don't believe in that.
Why?
I volunteered for 7 years. You tell me that Emini Mujibuze. Let me randomly shock you.
Yes.
Did you know that in Uganda there are so many sectors that need field agents, but very few people are willing to earn 5,000 every day because one carries a degree on their head. They believe in their head that I've invested a lot of money in myself, so I can't earn 5,000 a day. Then how will you start? I started with what? With earning 2K a day. Right now, I earn crazy money on a weekly basis. But you see, we forget the process and we just want the product. We want to see the product and leave out the process. It's so sad. It's so sad that a university degree, even if I don't care which class, whether first class or second class, you must have a starting point. There are those that get good jobs immediately after graduation. Beautiful.
Yes.
There are those that take some time. Beautiful. There are those that don't get any jobs. And the journey, year in, year out, you're struggling. The problem, unfortunately, 80% of the problem may be you. In my second year, by my second year, I knew who was going to mentor me. And you don't get mentors because because you want to do the same thing they do. No, you get mentors because you need people that have gone in a journey before you to give you a glimpse of where the light is. Because the tunnel is too dark.
True.
Nabagamba light at the end of the tunnel. Light sujagala mu tunnel munda. Mwajiteka ku endi. So, as you're moving through that tunnel, understand that the reason why the tunnel is dark is because when we were moving as a team, so many people are telling you, you're moving as a team and you're winning together.
And you're able to learn.
So many people are living lives alone. You have no mentor, you have no teachers, you have no... But I also understand that we're also battling an egoistic environment. I know it all. Because you have 1 million followers on Twitter, on Instagram, you feel like you know it all. But no man is an island.
Yes.
So it is very important for us to know who to build you and who to take you far. So many people will have different stops in your lives. There are so many people you started with and you're not with them, right?
True.
Exactly. But they did a good job.
Yes.
So they stop somewhere and someone else picks on.
Yeah.
And that's all around all our lives, even in love relationships. What abantu bogwa na mukwano first year university. Second year nga mukivuddemu. Third year nokwata omulala. After you need so graduating about and you enter the business world, you find someone else who will now take you to the next level. So I believe that the problem is not the economy. The problem is not the political environment. The problem is not God. The problem is not your family, culture, beliefs. The problem is us.
Yes, the individuals.
Yes, the problem is us, the individuals. We are as big as we think and we are as big as we do.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you for that. When we drop back to your journey at campus, I remember this young boy who would go to club and was just full of life.
Yes.
How then did you transition into being this staunch Christian that loves God?
Now when I joined Prime Time, I noticed that there is joy in earthen vessels. There is joy that is hidden that so many people... The world has a lot of loud joy. But there's a joy that is drawn from you within you. The best joy is the joy that is drawn from within you. The greatest wealth that any human being carries is wealth within. Wealth within that has hope, that has faith, that has fulfillment, that has peace. And I still want to clarify that even if you have this, I don't want you to think that life is going to be a straight platform. But as long as you have the wealth within you, then the discomfort of the world may not shake you. So I go to Prime Time and I become a fully fledged MC. I transition into a funny MC. I transition into a stand-up comedian. And then I started doing comedy in church, emceeing in church. And therein I noticed that, well, I think my calling is for a particular group and family of people. I'm in the world, but I'm not called for the world.
Yes.
I'm called to serve and also celebrate life a certain way. So that's how I managed to transition from my club life to
being the Christian that you are today. And I can say you're inspiring many. There's many gentlemen, men out there and women that that want a life that is of God and a life that is fulfilling.
Yes. Also
to get married and be stable. Most stories we've had recently are stories of fear men, women. The fact that you are a married man, a man that is proud of his wife, I commend that. How was your journey like to marriage? And
marriage is a beautiful place. I'll first cancel out the statement. I've had so many people say, marry your best friend. What a wrong statement. What a wrong statement. We're in a generation that believes that marriage should be to your best friend, which is unfortunate. We don't marry our best friends. No? Because it's not biblical. It's not anywhere. The Bible. Man will leave his father and mother's house, and then he will go and hinge with this woman, and they will make one. Now you connect and make a family as per the purpose of God, because it's a godly institution. First of all, you only marry. You don't marry your best friend. You only marry someone you're able to serve a certain purpose with. As simple as that.
How does one identify that?
One, a man is the head of the family.
Yes.
And you, as the head of the family, you must understand what is your purpose in life, first of all. As you identify your purpose in life, you must now go on a hunt to look for someone. That's what the Bible says, that he who finds who finds
a
wife finds a beautiful thing and obtains favor from both a man and God. There's the reason why we just don't find women, or you find a female species. He who finds a woman, he who finds a girl. No. The Bible says he who finds a wife. So you don't become a wife when you take vows. You only become someone's wife. The wife of now Mr. Agaba. Mr. Agaba's wife after the vows. But even before the vows, you are a wife.
Yes.
You qualify to be a wife as long as you're found. You understand? So if someone walks into this person's life and you find a wife, that means the person you found is going to interpret the vision that you hold of this great institution, which is called marriage, to build a family. So if now what is now challenging us a little bit is now when you marry your best friend. When you marry your best friend on the friendship basis, it's going to be a hard drive for you, because if you find, your partner, or if you find a wife in your best friend, that's also beautiful. But you should not find your best friend in a wife. No. The first key principle is you find a wife. So if you find a wife in your best friend, beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Roll the journey. But if you qualify
best friend
just for a wife, then I just have to tell you that what a friendship marriage you're going to celebrate, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Now, Uncle Mark.
Yes.
How would you advise a person of influence to stand up for justice?
Being truthful to yourself. Because you see, you're influential because people believe in your values and your discipline and your structure of life. So if someone believes in me as Uncle Mark, I'll trace back the parts of why do you believe in me? You probably believe in me because I have a little bit of humor around me that is light. Then I have discipline. Then, probably I'm a married man, Christian, but I have these values that I stand with. That's why you believe in me. Then I'll protect and keep those values to just make sure that I don't make you devour from what I believe in. So whoever has influence, it's just a simple way to say you influence a certain part of the world or some people in the world. And those people you influence, you don't influence them because you are of a good voice. People are drawn by character, by a force of nature that rhymes with with the subconscious man. So people only believe in those. So you are an influential person out there. Just protect and guard your values, right?
Thank you. I just want to draw this back a little bit about you standing for the truth with that, the post you made on X. How did it make you feel, the fact that...
The post about my brother?
Yes, about your brother.
I think the only problem I found with myself is I speak the truth so much. Yeah, I posted a letter and I sent it to the president. And being, this lucky chap, I was responded to. And of course, we had various meetings up and down. But still, when we were finding a solution to this problem, I also learned that no one can really pay human life.
True.
So it was about two conditions. You either tell someone you're sorry and it's done, or you pay damages. I said, I think it's wise to honor and respect that these people have gone through a hard time. So let's create a good time for them. And yeah, I can confirm that they are living a good life. So how the post makes me feel now is different from how it made me feel 2 days after.
Yes.
So now I can confidently say, I helped a family. I helped a family get back their stand. They might not get back their child because no one can pay for that.
Yes.
But at least the life is not that bad. And it's not the life they used to live in, which also has some beauty around it.
True. I think now it's beautiful for one to stand for the truth and stand for justice, regardless of the consequences. But yeah, thank you. It's been nice having you.
Oh, it's been a beautiful day and time. Thank you so much for having me here. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see that so many people are being impacted by, of course, the number of things that you do, the guests that you host. And yeah, keep it up.
Thank you.
And let's see what the heavens have for us.
Thank you. We'll sum it up with your favorite Bible verse.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Bible verse?
Interestingly, my favorite Bible verse is John 3:16.
John 3:16.
I am a giver. I give a lot.
Yes.
So the fact that God loved us so much and gave us his son, the only thing that he had by himself, by his image, by his blood, by his everything, it means it gives me a picture of, if you're giving, don't give with two hearts. You give wholeheartedly. So he gave his only begotten son that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This has been such a wonderful time. And it's been good listening in. I've personally taken on different lessons.
Yes.
And to the youth, please be patient with life. Volunteer if you can. Work and know that money will come later.
Yeah.
Don't rush for quick things. And well, my name is Shalon Nyankubito. I've been your host for today. Let's keep tuned for other episodes. Kindly watch, like, comment what has been your favorite take home from Uncle Mark, and also subscribe. Until then, this is Unleashed, Voice of a Generation.